following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We have Mr. Ralph Cooper on here with us. Sports radio personality, Texas Radio Hall of Fame 2020 recipient, and my friend. Hey buddy, how you doing?
Hey Cam, it's a pleasure to be on your program, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you.
We are doing great. So many people have been calling when I posted the flyer of you going to be on here. After all of these years, I've seen you along the way, and my God, you deserve it. You really do. So how did we get started?
Well, you can start wherever you want to. I'm open. I feel blessed to be here. Start wherever you want to start, whatever kind of questions you want to ask. But first of all, I want to commend you on your program. Being one who can remember when this type of thing wasn't happening and blacks didn't have these type of opportunities, I just want to commend you and your staff, your team, on the job that you're doing and putting up with an old guy like me who's learning all of this technology at a fast pace.
Absolutely. I learned a lot about you. Worthing High School graduate. Shout out to Worthing High School.
Right. We can never say enough shout in regards to Worthing High School. What Worthing High School gave us, we could never repay the educators who tolerated us with our hard head.
Absolutely. 1973 to start off. KYOK. Let's talk about that experience.
Well, I really started out before then. I really started out at the Forward Times in 1969, believe it or not, and I really started on the radio around that same time, thanks to two people, Skipper D. Frazier, who would invite me to come to KCH and predict college and pro football games. I didn't know he was betting on the games until later on when he gave a bonus for picking the teams right. And also Rick Roberts at KYOK, they were the ones who were responsible for me starting in radio.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. They are true trailblazers along the way, and just seeing all that you've done during that period of time. Why radio?
Well, I realized I started in the newspapers. I was writing articles for the Forward Times. Most people don't know that I even wrote for Muhammad Speaks. I wrote Sepia magazine. I had articles in Jet magazine, and then the Houston Post at that time, the Houston Chronicle, the Forward Times, the Informant, the Defender. And then I realized, just like you all realize right now, you can see a change was coming. And I saw that I had 5 minutes. They started me off with 5 minutes twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And I realized in those 5 minutes, okay, if I had a minute and a half, 2 minutes worth of commercials, I had 3 minutes to get my point over. And if you made your point right quick, you gave them something to think about, you could go a long ways in this particular business. And that's what I like to do.
Absolutely. What I love about you and what I love about your commentary when I see you or hear you along the way, and I've been listening to you for a long period of time, you're very direct with it and very informative. Why so about blacks in sports? Because that's our topic today.
Right, and well, it comes from experience. If you hang around and you work hard, you're going to have things to talk about. You're going to have interviews and situations in life where you can share with people because of your experiences. And again, being one who's been around here for a moment, being one who remembers the Astrodome with Muhammad Ali fighting in the Astrodome, the Grambling Texas Southern football games, the Houston Oilers and Earl Campbell scoring 4 touchdowns on a Monday night in a Monday night game on national television, and a host of great high school football games back in the day. You have a few things to talk about. And again, I go back, hard work, going to the events and not really thinking about time.
Absolutely. So, in looking at that, a lot of people just think that you came on the radio, but you by far did a lot more than that. You went to the people.
Well, not only that, when I first started and I couldn't read that well, what I would do, I lived in Sunnyside. I lived at 4170 Barbary Street, Scott Plaza Apartments, right there behind where I would go by the radio stations, KYOK and KCOH, and pull the news services. They had the UPI and API. I would pull the Y services, put a whole bunch of newspapers, stuff, and then I would go get sports pages out of the newspaper. I'd get me a 6-pack. And I would sit outside of my apartment and I would read out loud. And many of my neighbors thought I was retarded. They thought I was crazy. And because they didn't know what I was doing was preparing for radio. And then when they saw me on radio, many of them who became great friends, hey man, we thought you had lost it. Thought you had lost it. And we didn't realize that you were really practicing what you were getting ready to do. So that's, and this was before I had speech. I took speech classes from certain individuals, but I found out a lot of the stuff you could do on your own with hard work.
Wow. Just with that testimony of what you just gave, so many people are in fear of speaking out loud and in public, and especially on radio or TV. So you just probably, I'm sure you've opened doors to others because they have that fear. They know they want to do something, but they don't think they have the ability.
Right, and you want to be an inspiration to other people, and you want them to know. Even when I deal with interns, I try to tell them that the more you read and the more you practice, the better you can become, and you want more informed. The people are listening to you for information that they don't have. If you're coming to them with the information they already have, they're not going to really be in tune. So you've got to come with a little bit more information, and you've got to be opinionated and not concerned that people are going to be on your side, be against you because you made an opinion. So those are some of the things that play a part in this, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. 1984 KCOH to present. How so long?
Well, one thing, I followed other people. It wasn't just, I watched other people and how they worked. My mother blessed me by naming me Ralph Cooper. My mother nearly named me Gary Cooper after the great actor. My mother nearly named me Jackie Cooper, who was a child star. But my mother went to a black movie, before I was born and saw Ralph Cooper, who did the Apollo Theater for 5 decades, every Wednesday night, the amateur show for 5 decades. So my thing was, after I read on him, if he could work 4 or 5 decades, and all I have to do is just enjoy what I do, enjoy sports, I could do this maybe for 5 or 6, 7 decades. So the name has been an inspiration also. I mean, to know your mother named you after a famous black person, not that I'm not knocking those other guys, they were famous, but he named after a great black person in black movies and touched think about all the people Ralph Cooper touched at the Apollo Theater for 40 or 50, 60 years.
Absolutely. What I did learn a little bit about you is that in your earlier years, 10 years old, you went door to door selling Jet magazines, Ebony and the Informer.
Yes, the Forward Times is now 60 years old. I can say that I was one of the first paper boys of the Forward Times newspaper. I had already been selling Jet magazine. They had a thing when if you read Jet magazine back in the day, they had a little thing in there. If you wrote them a letter, they would let you sell their newspapers. Their magazines. So I wrote a letter to them, and I started selling Jets and Ebonies, and then I ventured out and started selling the Informer newspaper, and then I ventured out and started selling the Informer newspaper, and then we had 3 newspapers in Houston, daily newspapers in Houston at one time. And that was everybody knows about the Houston Post and the Houston Chronicle, but that was the Houston Press. It was more like a crime newspaper. They did more crime, but the black people really thrived on it because they love to read about crime and crime and sports. So Hey, I had all these routes going on, and the thing about it, I did my routes. I walked my routes. I never. So I was telling somebody this the other day. Why would you walk? I said I enjoyed walking. I had a sack, a bag, or whatever with my newspapers in it, and
Uh-huh.
I would walk from door to door. And it inspired other people. Just like anything, when you do something real good, other people are going to copy you. So the other little boys in my neighborhood, like me, started selling the newspaper, the Forward Times, and the Informer. So what I did, the papers came out on Wednesday. So you've been being innovative. I got sick every Wednesday. I get a sore stomachache, something, and leave school early. And I had the newspaper distributor to drop my papers at my house early, and I would just hit my regular customers real quick. And by 5 o'clock, I had sold over 100 papers on every Wednesday by 5 o'clock. And it was a lot of money back then.
Right.
Candy bars were a nickel, soda was a nickel, hamburger was 25 cents. So imagine you got $5 in your pocket for 2 or 3 hours work. You ate pretty good.
Absolutely. So you were sick. So you were sick at school.
And
Okay.
see, the other thing is for the educators, they need to know this. One of the things that inspired me also was at school, in the library, starting in the seventh grade, especially
Mm-hmm.
at Crispus Attucks and Worthing High School. They had the Pittsburgh Courier newspaper. They had the New York Amsterdam. They had the Chicago Defender. Plus, they had the local papers. But you could go to the library and read up stuff that you had never imagined was happening in other places like Chicago, New
Right.
York, and those type of places. So those new and these were black newspapers writing about black people, and it was very inspirational.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. I brought you on today because of the fact in February, we always say Black History Month. This
Right.
year, I want to dedicate Black History Year. So, Black History 365 days a year, because that's really what we do.
Well, welcome to the club. Many of us, some of us have done it all the time. It's Black History every day. See,
Absolutely,
I
y'all
mean,
have.
I can't do enough for you are about to do, because see, our history is one you can't tell in a 1 week or 1 day type thing. Every day we're
Absolutely.
making history.
Absolutely.
Just think about it. Yesterday, sad to say, was the year uh, from Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 7 other people losing their life in a helicopter, and
Right.
that was a year ago yesterday. So, I mean, history. Then you lose Hank Aaron last week.
Right.
So, and then and see, and then you have to be open minded. I used to stay up late at night after I found this person. I stay late at night, or either where I was going, being single, I would get around. I make it a point to leave where I was leaving late in the morning or early in the morning, like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I did that to hear Larry King. Larry King was on the radio. See, many of you all just know Larry King for being on television, CNN, but I remember he was on the radio, and I would listen to his programs. And the thing why I listened was how he interviewed people,
Mm-hmm.
and he would and the style that he had in really letting the people talk. When you interview them, ask them a kind of short question, blah blah, just let them talk. And then this was late night radio. Imagine you riding around 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and some people, why are you leaving my house? Why? And they didn't know you were educating yourself. You were going to class, but get up, drive, and it was enjoyable to ride around and listen to a person like that. So he dies at 87.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I learned a lot from Larry King too. So, and mine is I try
I
to
can
let
imagine.
people talk.
Right, right. And you do a great job.
So, part of that in looking at back at your long legacy, what would you tell people that you've learned along the way?
I've learned I've learned what many people, when they've been around great people, they don't really get a chance to. They just see the okay. Many people they were around Muhammad Ali. They see I'm the greatest. I'm the prettiest. Blah blah blah. They see that type of thing, or they see somebody saying that they're going to do this or that, but they don't really get to know the person. That many of these people are no different than they are. They just happen to be blessed being able to do what they did in regards to being great athletes, coming into a lot of money. But many of them were givers. This is the thing that surprised me, how many of these guys would give to different people, not just family. I'm talking about maybe people they grew up with. Of course, immediate family, mother, father, sister, brother, blah, 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 cousin. But then they would help, they would reach back and do other things for other people. They didn't have the monies that, say, LeBron and Michael Jordan have today. But hey, but look at what they're doing. Look at Michael Jordan. He recently gave, after all these years, Michael Jordan got involved with Black Lives Matter. Then you got LeBron James doing the thing with the school, Jalen Rose doing the thing with the school. So you see all of these guys, but you go back and you read up Sugar Ray Robinson and Joe Louis. They were Jackie Robinson. They were trying to help other people. They just didn't have the kind of monies that these individuals have today to change things. And I know some people. One thing I learned, it's their money. Now they can come to you. You can give them some ideas, or they can come to you for some ideas. But the bottom line is still their money in regards to what they want to do with it. But you can't put the ideas in between their ears.
Absolutely. I love, like I said earlier, I love the way you highlight blacks in sports. Right now, there's an issue with coaches. That's been a big thing. We don't have as many black coaches as many people feel as we should, and Houston is interviewing for coaches, or was. And they did not, they interviewed first for I understand, for a quarterback versus for a black coach. So what would you think as far as that?
Well,
black coaches.
I lost. Okay, my thing on the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule was put into place to help blacks in regards to becoming head coaches in the NFL. The Rooney Rule, in my opinion, is a joke. The Rooney Rule is a joke, and this is apparent right now. You had 6 or 7 head coaching positions open. You had one Muslim to get hired, and all of the others that have been hired so far have been white males. Now the Houston Texans decided to bring in a crew. They had Tony Dungy, they had Andre Johnson. They hired a PR group or whatever, so a consultant group to help them look for a coach. And a general manager, they told Deshaun Watson he was going to be in on the process, which was a lie. They lied to him. And now, after getting a nice, juicy contract from them and praising them for the contract, he's turned because of the fact that they lied to him about the hiring of the general manager. He found out just like the rest of us did. Now he would like to be traded, and I don't blame him. You've been through 2 or 3 general managers here, 2 coaches, maybe a third when you're about to go through a third coach if you stay here. And Jeff type operation. You got a 3 Stooges type operation running the program. It's amazing how Cal McNair, whose father put him in this position where he becomes the CEO of the team, and you stay there for 10, 15, 20 years, and you run the program like you just you don't know anything about it. And then you lose the trust of your quarterback. It's huge in my opinion. And now you try to bring in different black guys to interview them.
Absolutely. And then in other sports, one question a lot of people have asked, why sports for you instead of anything else in journalism? Why was sports a topic?
That's a fact. I hope I made sense.
I didn't hear you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Okay. Did you hear me when I was asking you what?
I lost you for a minute.
Oh, okay. That. Yeah. So the question was, why sports? Why did you decide on sports instead of anything other than in journalism? Did you hear me?
I don't know.
All righty. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The question was, why sports? Why did you decide on sports versus anything else?
Try repeating that once more time. I'm gonna try to see if I can hear you. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, what we're gonna do, let's take a break real quick. We're gonna work on that. We'll be right back. The Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Light up your new year with a top-rated luxury SUV from Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 XT4 Luxury Collection for $319 a month, the new 2021 XT5 Luxury Collection for $399 a month, or the new 2021 XT6 Luxury Collection for $459 a month. All for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thanks so much for coming back. We're here with Ralph Cooper. Hey, my friend, we were just talking about why did you decide on sports?
I think I'm old. Oh, yeah.
Did you hear the question? Why did we decide on sports? All righty, seems like we're working on something. We're still working on it?
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear? Okay. We'll be working on that, guys. Work on that with him. But let's go over. I just want to reiterate that Ralph Cooper is the Texas Radio Hall of Fame 2020 recipient this year. That means, what that really means is that out of everyone that was qualified, he was one of the recipients for 2020, and that's huge, huge, huge. He had been working at 1973 KYOK Radio. That's how he started, 1984, KCOH to present. And a lot of that he always says, and I'm just reading a little bit about it, what he said, is that the Houston Forward Times is really a pivotal point in his life. And shout out to Karen Carter Richards, who is over there taking the helm from her parents. We appreciate you. I love her so much. She's a great person. COVID-19 impacted our newspapers, so we'll talk to Ralph about that and how that has affected the world now, because it's a little different. Also, we'll be talking to him about the fact as far as radio in itself and how it has changed. We have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of friends in doing podcasts and radio specials and things like that. And man, I'm telling you, it is outstanding what everybody is doing. We'll talk to him a little bit about his advice about what he's not only learned along the way, but how has it really changed in radio. And we'll talk to him about that. But I've known Ralph for a long period of time, and he truly, truly deserves the Hall of Fame. And he's deserved it a long time ago. But he is one of the best in blacks in sports, or just sports in itself. He has really helped me understand the sports and just the back part of it, not just sports what we see on TV. So what we'll be doing on there is on Friday, I will be having, just to give you a little bit while we're working on some things. So Friday, we'll have Dr. Letitia Plummer, okay? She is a Houston City Council member. From 12:30 to 1:30, we'll be talking to her about what's happening in Houston now, what really is going on, and what happened is going to be, going forward. What do they have as far as budgets and things like that? And that'll be Friday. we'll be talking to her. And from then on, we'll be having a lot of great people. February the 22nd, I know for sure I finally signified or signed on Miles J, our R&B, one of the greats. I love him as far as his music so much. And we have a host of other people that will be putting on. If you have anybody that you're interested in, please DM me. Please send the information to myself or my executive producer. Shout out to her, Diana Patterson. She is doing an excellent job. My creative director, who we call T, she's doing excellent too. Look at my website. Please do. thecamhillshow.com. Go to it. Sign up. Send me information. Let me know that you like it or you don't. YouTube, if you want to see all of my past guests. I have over 140 videos of all past guests. Look at that on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Please do. I need that. Also, go to my Facebook page. Please, at any time, like it. I have a lot of things that's on there, a lot of controversial things. Don't hold me to it. Just if you like it, that's okay. Instagram, be a follower of mine, please. We've had a lot of great people on there, but do that at any time, and I'd appreciate that so much. But my YouTube, website, Instagram, and they just put me on Twitter, so I don't know how to tweet yet. I'm going to tweet a little bit, but I don't know how. It goes real fast, so I'm going to work on that. So it's all under the Cam Hill Show. I'm working on this. We're trying to give you the best. If you have any people you want on the show and you want to see them, let me know about them. I'll do that. On Fridays, we're going to start doing giveaways. So coming this Friday, we're going to give, I know we have a gift certificate right now, $25 gift certificate to Grace's restaurant. We'll be giving that away. We're going to have $25 gift. We're going to have gift cards. And on some of those days, I'll have TVs. I'll have all kind of things. So that'll be every single Friday. Starting this Friday, I'll be doing that. Give me other things that you'd like to do, and let me know of any time that you would love to do those things. Let's do this. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Light up your new year with a top-rated luxury SUV from Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 XT4 Luxury Collection for $319 a month, the new 2021 XT5 Luxury Collection for $399 a month, or the new 2021 XT6 Luxury Collection for $459 a month. All for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate it so much. We want to thank Mr. Ralph Cooper for coming on. I want to reiterate, he is the Texas Radio Hall of Fame 2020, and he truly, truly deserves it. I appreciate my friend for coming back on. In doing so, I just want to reiterate again that on Friday, I will be having Dr. Letitia Plummer. In doing so, she will be 12:30 to 1:30 Central Standard Time. Mr. Ralph, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, just wanted to thank you for everything you're doing. Tell the people, the viewers, your last words.
Well, my last words is I'll come in. I'm gonna come in and do your show with you in person. Mask on or whatever, hoodie, mask on, whatever. I want to come in and do a program with you because I really enjoy you, and I think I owe the people a little bit more. So, and I really appreciate you and what you're doing. That's one of my closing words. But the other thing I want to share with you and others who are planning on doing this, you have to outwork other people. My thing was also that I didn't share earlier was to outwork everybody. I didn't care if they were black, white, blue, or green. I used to get up in the middle of the night to get interviews. Go out to the airport in the middle of the night, go wherever it was, a church or whatever, to get an interview in the middle of the night. And so if you want to really do this and you really want to be good at what you do, like I said earlier, the time, forget about time, and then just put the emphasis on doing the job and being very professional about what you do. And also, again, knowing more than what you have to, if you're going to inform people to know more than what they know, you've got to give them something that they don't already know. So that's my parting shots. And again, invite me into the program. I want to come there and sit with you. I like the way you have your name behind your head there. The Cam Hill. Oh my God. Think about it.
I love it.
Is your mother still living?
Yes.
Your mother still living?
Yes, she is.
And see, I say that because see, my mother died a couple of years ago. My mother listened to everything. My mother watched me for 20 years on Channel 13. My mother listened to all of my radio programs, and my mother was my greatest fan. Many times I get a call from her just before I went on there, not talking about the program, just talking. Right. So your mother, I don't know your mother's name, but I'll let you say it. But your mother, see behind your big, shiny, nice head there, your mother sees the name Cam Hill, the Cam Hill Show. Think about that, the Cam Hill. You've got your own show.
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Invite me where I can come into the state and tell for those again, it's Star TV, right?
Yeah, A Star. Yes.
Yes.
A Star TV.
Okay.
With your friend Amelia Wright being the VP, Vice President.
Right. Hey, he's a man that has been among the stars. Cleveland, Ohio.
There you go.
And he's a hero to many people back in Cleveland. Some don't want him back. Many welcome him back. Some don't want him back in Cleveland. So hey, man, again, I want to thank you. And ask Amelia sometime to tell you about the dog pound.
Okay.
I didn't really understand what the dog pound was in Cleveland until my wife is from Cleveland, and her father, and when they were kids, they would go out and sit in the dog pound and sit in the stadium and watch the Cleveland Browns. They would take blankets to the game. Mm-hmm. Even when they got older, they were still going out to these games watching the Cleveland Browns play football in the snow and ice.
Yes.
Off of the lake.
Yes.
And say, man, and again, keep up the great work, Cam.
I appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Thank you, my friend, for everything, and congratulations
to you. The Cam Hill Show.
I want you to do that too. I'm going to call you back and do a snippet. Talk to you soon. Thanks, buddy. Okay,
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Like I said, on Friday, we will have Dr. Letitia Plummer, who is our Houston City Council member, 1231 and 30. See you then. Bye.